And what does CP3's off night mean for his MVP chances? Good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. Nick, what happened last night?
Jenna, as a wise man once said, it ain't great, but one game does not make a season, America. Well, the Nick Wright curse might have slightly affected him, but he's going to bounce back. He's going to bounce back.
Which wise man was that? There's a plethora to choose from. All right, we will get to CP3's rough night. But another day, another layer to the Aaron Rodgers drama in Green Bay. According to this latest report now, because there's a lot to unpack here, Rodgers was telling potential free agents he might not be in Green Bay next season. Then there was another report that said Rodgers turned down an offer making him the NFL's highest paid quarterback. On top of that, we're hearing that Aaron Rodgers, while group texting some teammates, referred to his current GM, Brian Gutekunst, as late Bulls GM, Jerry Krause. And we all know how that ended with Michael Jordan. But wait, there's more. Brett Favre with this hot take yesterday. Take a listen to this.
And knowing Aaron, and I think I know him fairly well, if he has a grudge, whether it be against the organization or a player or an arch rival or family, friends, he ain't budging. I don't see him coming back and saying, if this is not resolved, whatever the issue is, if it's not resolved, or even if it's resolved, but he feels like they got one up on him, he ain't gonna play.
Wow. So every day I'm like, how could it possibly get worse or deeper? Brandon, are you convinced Aaron Rodgers is as good as gone in Green Bay, or is there still a chance to salvage some part of this situation?
Well, first off, I don't want to hear from Brett Favre. Brett Favre, in December, talking about Deshaun Watson or whenever it was. You go out there and say, I'm kind of old school, and players need to shut up. No, Brett Favre, you need to shut up. Like, your energy changed from Deshaun Watson to Brett Favre. So let's talk about that first and foremost. Now, this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, you're telling potential free agents that you may not be there. You're compromising the team. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers coming back after these things that are coming out now the last couple days. Think about Russell Wilson. Remember, I think it was you, Wiles, you were like, what does Russell Wilson want? He gave us this list of teams that he wanted to go to, the Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, the Saints. He had a few other teams out there. But then he's also liking tweets of guys talking about coming back, or he's liking tweets when guys sign. Russell Wilson was still quietly recruiting. Russell Wilson was still quietly having a conversation with teammates like, look, Chris Carson's, get the deal done, right? Because he was holding out hope that Pete Carroll was going to come around, and Pete Carroll did. So for this guy, Aaron Rodgers, to go out there and tell free agents like, look, man, I'm probably not going to be here, this is ugly, and this is all on Brian Gutekunst. That's who it's on. You got John Cohn, I believe his name is, the fullback that played 9 years with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. John Cohn. And he goes out there and says, well, there's two guys dug in, Nick. What do you mean there's two guys dug in? The only person that should be dug in is Aaron Rodgers. Like, you just got there a couple years ago. We're talking about one of the greatest players that ever played in the National Football League. He has a list of demands, and you need to meet him. There shouldn't be two guys dug in, Nick.
Well, I don't know that he has a list of demands anymore. I think he has one demand, and it will be his last demand, and that is, I don't want to work here anymore. And this, to me, Wilds, is very interesting for the Packers and for Rodgers, but it's also very interesting for the next few years of NFL football, because if we're being honest, Russell Wilson was engaged in a power struggle, and I understand the Seahawks seemed to bend a little, but in my opinion, Russell Wilson did not win that power struggle. They didn't make any massive free agent moves. They didn't trade away a draft pick for a star player. Not that they had many draft picks trade away, because they had just traded one for Jamal Adams. He didn't get some new contract. Not that that's what he was looking for, and he didn't get traded. Now, Brandon reported he had a meeting with Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll acquiesced to many of his demands, but we'll see if that actually plays out in real time. The reason I bring that up is, if Aaron Rodgers loses a power struggle to Brian Gutekunst, then this idea that, oh, the NBA model, player empowerment, it's coming to the NFL. If Rodgers can't be more powerful than Gutekunst, then the hell chance does Jalen Ramsey have against Les Snead? The answer is 0%. Not that Jalen has any issues with the Rams, but I'm just using star player and powerful GM. So I think in the macro, it is an interesting situation. And in the micro, I do think Rodgers is gone. Because I think Rodgers has enough financial stability and enough interests outside of football to where his trump card is, I don't need this. And you can find me $50,000 a day in training camp, and I won't notice. So I do think Rodgers is willing to take this to the brink, evidenced by the fact that he is telling guys I might not be there, which, as Brandon said, undercuts his own ability to compete if he is going to come back. So I don't think they can salvage this situation, and I think this will be a good test study for future players that try to execute a power play of their own.
Okay, so here's why I think he'll be back in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has a phone. Aaron Rodgers was on Instagram Live talking about Jeopardy. Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show. Aaron Rodgers showed up on Barstool FaceTime doing some great work, saving small businesses. Why haven't we heard from Aaron Rodgers? All I hear is this drip, 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 drip from the rumor mill. Oh, Jake Kummerow, it's Jordan Love. I want to go to the Raiders. I want to go to the 49ers. Hey, I might be referring to Gutekunst as Jerry Krause. You don't have to do any of that. You just need to make an announcement. And I made the announcement for you. You can just, I'll send you the transcription. Here's what it is. Ready for this? Can we play our sad announcement music, please? Here it is. Dear Packers Nation, I have decided to ask to be traded. I wanted nothing more than to bring another championship to Green Bay, but the decisions made by the executives in charge won't allow me to do that. Thank you for your support. I've always loved Green Bay. I'll be rooting for you. Peace out, Aaron. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do, Brandon. And until I hear that, feels like there's a chance for some reconciliation, because he won't put that out, not only because it's a silly statement written by me, but because he knows that will be a goodbye. Right now, we're just in this dance of flirting and a drip of information. We got Jake Kummerow news, like, oh. So until there's a real statement, Brandon, I still think it's salvageable.
Let me follow up on that and ask you something, Brandon, because the last really ugly, player-team divorce we've seen across sports was James Harden. And James Harden, while everyone knew he wanted out of Houston, he did not actually put words to it until the very end. We saw the actions.
That's right.
We saw him showing up seemingly out of shape, no showing to camp early, but he didn't put a statement out there until that famous press conference after a loss, and he was traded within, 7 days from there. Do you think it's plausible that Rodgers is holding that bullet as a final bullet? Because if he were to take Wild's advice and release that statement today, and when June 1st rolls around, he's still on the team, then what other moves